This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. Big dog, first time this week actually.
It's Charles, it's the first
You have to hold it.
Sorry.
Hold on, there we are.
Sorry.
No,
we're good. No, we
are.
We can. We are. Well, let's first of all say where we are. We are in the deepest, darkest showers of Wembley Stadium. Undercover, Charlie and me. Waiting for the ladies' basketball team to pop up. Unfortunately, we got the wrong night.
It is sick, isn't it? Just wandering about the corridors here. I mean, for me,
listen. You know what? It's like I said in the build-up. I said at the first press conference. I think we spoke after that, and you know, it's what these Riyadh season cards do is phenomenal in terms of the layers and the layers and layers of fighters and teams and promoters and whatever that's involved. It does bring a very special feel to it. Absolutely.
I want to ask you, by the time that people see this, the main event may be done, but are you going to be bellowing out cigarettes and alcohol and some of the other Liam Gallagher songs tonight?
Pint of Stella. My mate's just poured me a pint of Stella, so I'll be partaking.
Is your work done now? Are you able to enjoy the
night? I mean, I don't consider talking to you work, so I quite enjoy it.
I appreciate that.
In fact, maybe I'll get the Stella now and we'll have an even better interview.
I would get the Stella now if I were you, to be honest. Let's talk about the fight. Cards were closer than most thought, if I'm honest. Cal, what did you make of it?
I made of it that the draw was an absolute shocker. The 115, 114 was not far behind, and the 115-13 weren't far behind that. Disappointing, a great result at the end. It's what counts. But got the decision, but a majority decision on that fight. You kidding? The fact Eddie didn't get in the ring afterwards, he lost. Come on, yeah. But I honestly, when they were announced, and it came a draw, the first one came out a draw, then they announced a 115, 114. I thought they'd done us. I literally thought this is some stitch up. Not one for conspiracy theories, but I really thought that it was just shocking scoring. But at the end of the day, entertaining fight. Ishmael Davis, massive credit to him for taking the fight. He'll have a big future in the sport. Tough guy, huh? He'll learn out of that loss, and I think where we were a week ago, this wasn't about coming and just taking the fight against knockover job. It was a live fight, proper fight to the last round. I got to say, I didn't expect Ishmael Davis to have the gas down the championship rounds. He certainly did, but at the same time, Kelly showed as well he knows when to put it on, and he did it very well tonight. But of course, we would have loved it to be Liam Smith tonight, but we move on to the next one, or whether that's, there's a lot of fights opening up around this 154, 160 division, especially big UK fights, Conor Benn, Eubank obviously at 160, Liam Smith, what's Kell Brook doing? A lot of big fights. What
is, I suppose, your pick of the bunch for next? I mean, we look at the Liam Smith fight, that was an absolute...
Well, you lot would definitely like the Eubank one, because you could really, really go to town with me on that. But I don't know, the Conor Benn one has just been talked about for so many years.
Do you think Eddie and Matchroom would still entertain it?
Well, why would they not? First of all...
the money was right.
Listen, it's all about whether it's a big enough fight. I mean, if you look at hold on. The Conor Benn, Josh Kelly narrative goes back to when Josh Kelly was at Matchroom. That fight's been around for a long, long time. The question is when's Conor Benn returning? We hear whispers that he's back early next year. Massive UK fight, massive. At the same time, there's other big fights as well out there.
154 or would it be a 165?
Right, well, Josh's weight still really is 154. That's where he's number one in the world at the moment. So it's 154. But at the same time, I thought he looked very solid at 160 tonight, and that's what he was preparing for Liam Smith at. So between 154 and 160, you know.
What have you made of everything this week? I just heard you on a previous interview there, touching a little bit on...
Listen, it's one of those... It's just amazing when people talk about, the Riyadh season, this fight, that way. For me, it's the whole thing around it. You can talk about, Joshua Dubois tonight. You can talk about the amazing fight week from, the grand arrivals at the Odeon, Leicester Square, to the weigh-in at Trafalgar Square. So just an amazing event for boxing. But for me, it's like the layers and layers of fights and fighters and personalities you have around it,
Especially on a night like tonight, it's just A-listers everywhere.
It's just,
well. It's nuts.
It's just it's a privilege to work in this great sport for fucking too many years now. But
you still love it?
Of course I do, Charlie. You know what it is? It's like, we've spent a bit of time together recently. It's the travelling with, certain people you don't really like to travel with, but
like, what are you?
But it's part of it. But it's like
regardless of what you do, it still takes a toll, right?
Yeah, we've done in the last few weeks Miami, Dublin, Newcastle tonight, and next week we're at the York Hall. I'm going from Wembley Stadium to York Hall next week live on Channel 5.
Proper boxing, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's proper boxing, and it's live on Channel 5, which is always great. But it's I like the small ones, I like the big ones. What I must say with the Riyadh season is you get very nice. It's not very nice is the wrong word, isn't it? It's like these are historic cards. Let's face it. Every single fight tonight. Different levels of arenas, but they all do arenas. And then
you get them all on the same card. How lucky are we? Lastly from me, there was the altercation on stage between Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom. Although I say altercation, it probably wasn't at first.
You're asking me this because obviously I'm in that misfit space as well, and this would fit the bill.
Also you are also a promoter, right? And I'm interested to how you see it unfold. There's always been, I suppose, a slight back and forth as such, and it's more been like, Ben's been blocking this, Ben's been blocking that. But this week, it's the first time Ben's sort of come back, guns blazing a little bit. He said that Eddie needs to grow up.
But so what did he say?
So Ben's come back and said that Eddie needs to grow up. He's nearly 50, and he's asked him to fight.
I'll take offence to that because I'm nearly 50 as well. I'm 47. I think I'm a year older than Eddie, so I'll take offence to that. But he hasn't said it to me. Okay, continue. What else did he say?
And obviously it just all sparked off the little "what are you up here? This is my face-off" type thing. What have you made?
Yeah, I've got to say, I've just seen this video that's gone round from Eddie yesterday. I've seen that on the way up here today. Actually, I'm always a bit late on these things, but I did see it on the way up, and he said he joked with him on the stage that he was what was in the picture. It's actually quite a funny joke to tell Ben telling Eddie that, so I've got to give Ben that. That's a very funny line. Eddie's hitting back with "I'll knock you out," which is actually quite a funny thing, so he's put it back on him. According to Eddie, he's then shat it, and then my question is, how the fuck is that out there? Like, it's a bit of banter between two people. I've had over the years tons of banter with Eddie. I don't know, or not just with Eddie, with loads of people. Banter with someone tonight, actually. Not saying we're telling each other we're going to knock each other out or get out of pictures or whatever, but it, clearly that's the part I don't quite understand how that's gone into the public domain, because it's between me and you have a bit of a banter. It's not good.
Then go and tell everyone.
And on top of that, if they're going to have a row, I think Ben's just had his teeth done, so I don't think it's a good fucking time to be picking fights. But maybe they do expensive them things, I don't know. It's a weird one. I was having a laugh though about it.
Funny sport,
and it's all part of the day job to laugh about these things.
And you are a promoter, so that we ask you, who would win if the two of them had a tear-up?
Who would win? Oh no, I definitely thought physically. I think Yeah, I do think Eddie lays him out. I do think so. Eddie's in shape as well now. I remember days when back in the day we started
when he was
promoting each other. He was a rather large fella, but he's very fit now. I mean, he's not as fit as I am, but he's quite fit. Yeah, he's definitely fitter than Ben. So I definitely go with Hearn in the early rounds.
Kalle Sauerland, always a pleasure, mate. Congratulations, and I'm sure we will have a glass of red in London next week.
Absolutely, sir.
My guy. Thank you, mate.